Pragnya is going to talk us about likes and dislikes, okay? And how does she control her likes and dislikes through Bhagavad Gita's teaching. I will go to Pragnya's talk. Okay, Pragnya. Here you go, Pragnya. Pragnya, you're there?
Yes, 1 minute. Namaste everyone. Let's start today's presentation by talking about some common likes and dislikes. All of us here throughout our lives will continue to have desires and dislikes, but today I'll be presenting about the likes and dislikes in a child and in myself and how I deal with it. I hope you all like it. Likes and dislikes are a part of growing up. All of us here are undergoing or have undergone the wants and needs of when we are or were children. As our friends have talked about in the 6th chapter, 16th verse and 17th verse, Krishna has told us about having extreme habits and that even completely ignoring your body without treating it with adequate material desires, one would never be able to attain the state of yoga. So, in today's presentation, I will be talking about how Sri Krishna has taught us all through Bhagavad Gita to balance our likes and dislikes and to follow as a child so that our childishness can change to an understanding quality. So, next slide. So let me talk about my experiences with all of you, as I feel that is the best example of trying to relate with all of you. I have tried to include my view of always offering whatever I have, whatever I've learned or understood to God, just like how our friend Raghav talked about it a few minutes ago. So let me start with my first aspect, friendship. When I was younger, I always expected a lot from my friends. I'm sure everybody here has friends, and like there's always there are always some fights or quarrels that have happened between you guys, misunderstandings and all that. But when I was younger, I always wanted them to treat me as somebody special and always wanted their attention only on me. But as I've grown up and come to know the world better, I realized that a relationship between two people should be a bond made of love and trust, not complaining or only talking about what you dislike about the relationship or friendship. So since then, I have tried to be much more humble and enjoy and relish the time. I enjoy the time as much as possible that I spend with my friends. I've also learned to equally celebrate their achievement and support them. Next, let's talk about food habits. So, as Sachin sir just mentioned, all of us don't like at least something that our mothers or parents make for us, and we would make a fuss about eating it. I don't want to assume, but generally taking an example, let's say you guys don't like bitter gourd or any sabji that your parents make with the bitter gourd, you feel that it's not tasty enough to eat it, and you would rather prefer to eat something more sweet or more flavorful. So I also did not like a few foods, and I still do not today. But I have definitely improved, because when I was younger, I almost hated the food a lot. So instead of appreciating the effort and love that my mother put into making that food and the time, I used to complain to her. So I've come to understand to not do so and decrease my range of disliked foods. I feel that I'm very fortunate to be blessed by Sri Annapurna Devi to be able to have all my three nutritious meals every single day without any hindrance or any problems or having a shortage of food. So that is why it had been taught to us in school also, but till today I always chant the Annapurne Sadapurne shloka before consuming anything. Next slide, sir. Okay, next we'll move on to studies, which is a common topic for all of us here, as we're mostly all students. I'm pretty sure we all don't like every single subject in the school. All of us have different interests. So when I was, I disliked math and physics a lot because I didn't perform well in one of the few tests that was given to me in school. So from that day onwards, I just continued to assume that I cannot do well in either of the subjects, which caused me to completely lose any passion or interest in that. And just now, as Vishwanath sir stated, I realized that I shouldn't get demotivated or feel jealous that my friends have done better than me, or just lose hope in trying to improve in the subject. I later on learned that I should have an open mind before trying out anything new, and that included studies as well. I'm very grateful that the Paramatma has given me the privilege to study in a prestigious institute where quality education is being provided without me having to worry about anything that may be fees or options or extracurricular activities. I'm very grateful to have all of them. Next, worldly pleasures is the last factor. So we can all relate to badly wanting something that everyone around us has. Suppose recently the new iPhone 14 came out, and many people around us would have gotten it. Of course, maybe not iPhone 14, but we would want at least some kind of phone to ourselves because it is very common to see it, and the human mind will feel jealous of it because it's a tendency. But a few years ago, I was very insistent on buying anything that I saw. So whatever I saw, if I liked it, I would go demand my parents to buy it for me. But thankfully, my parents disciplined me at a very young age and taught me how to manage money and to not waste it, and how to differentiate between the needs and wants. We have also discussed about the needs and wants in the previous shlokas or the Bhagavad Gita classes. So now I'm much more humble. I'm able to identify what I truly need and not wasting my money. I'm very appreciative of my comfortable living, that my parents work so very hard, and for that and also so that the Bhagavan has written the satisfactory life in my vidhi or fate, and he has granted to me, and that I'm able to live it so peacefully. So next slide. I really hope that you have been able to relate with at least one or two of the examples. Let me also share what I've been doing to control my likes and dislikes. Since I've been coming to the Bhagavad Gita classes, my bhakti in Paramatma has immensely increased. Now I'm much more humble, and I'm down to earth, and I try my best to implement what Sri Krishna tells us in the Bhagavad Gita. But before joining these classes, as I matured, I slowly but steadily started to appreciate the life that I was leading and to make improvements constantly in my personality. So, before joining the classes, I'm generally telling you what changes I try to bring about in myself. I started to pray and trust God more as I understood how important the God and our bhakti toward Him is, or them. I learned to listen to what my parents say and apply that into my life to make the best version of myself. And I have been constantly trying to improve myself since then. So I tried my best to explain the topic that Sachin sir had given to me. I hope I've done justice to it. And I wish that you liked my presentation and could relate to it. So, Dhanyavadam and Hari Om.
I am speechless